Listen carefully, because what you are about to hear is not fiction. It is not imagination. It is a story about how a modern aircraft disappeared from the sky, vanished without a trace, and years later was pulled out of the deepest part of the ocean, a place where darkness never ends and pressure can crush steel. This is the story of the plane that vanished and was found under the sea. It began on a normal day with nothing unusual, nothing dramatic, nothing that warned anyone of what was coming. Passengers arrived at the airport carrying bags and dreams. Some were laughing, some were tired, some were thinking about loved ones waiting for them. The crew prepared the aircraft, running checks they had done hundreds of times before. The plane itself was strong, built with advanced systems designed to survive storms, turbulence, and long ocean crossings. Everything worked as expected. The doors closed, the engines roared, and the aircraft lifted into the sky smoothly, climbing above the city lights and into the night. As the land disappeared, below the plane moved over open ocean, where there is no road, no landmark, no second chance, only instruments, voices, and trust. The flight was calm, the sound of engines steady. Passengers relaxed, believing they were safe because flying had become normal. Then, without warning, something changed. Not loudly, not violently, but quietly. The plane stopped, communicating. Radar screens lost the signal. Radio calls were unanswered. Tracking data went dark. In a moment, the aircraft vanished from the digital world. Air traffic controllers tried again and again, expecting a response, but the silence remained. Minutes passed. Confusion filled the control rooms, then fear, because planes do not simply disappear. Systems are designed with backups, layers of protection. Yet one by one, those systems went silent. Search and rescue teams were activated. Ships, aircraft, and satellites moved toward the last known area. But the ocean is massive, stretching endlessly in every direction. Waves hide evidence, currents move debris, storms erase trails, hours turned into days, days into weeks. Families waited at airports, staring at arrival boards that never changed. Phones stayed silent. Hope slowly broke into grief. The world watched as the story became a mystery. Experts debated possibilities: mechanical failure, electrical fire, pilot confusion, human action. But without evidence, every theory floated without weight. The ocean refused to answer. Years passed, and the plane became a legend. A symbol of modern failure. How something so large could simply vanish. Then one day, technology caught up with mystery. Deep-sea scanning equipment, mapping the ocean floor, detected something unnatural far below the surface. In a region never searched before, a shape appeared, too straight, too large, to be natural engineers. Reviewed the data repeatedly, adjusting angles, depth, and scale. And the truth slowly became clear. It was an aircraft lying broken on the ocean floor. The missing plane had been found resting in darkness, thousands of meters. Below the surface, crushed by pressure, covered in rust, sand, and sea life. The discovery shocked the world after years of silence. The ocean had finally revealed what it had taken. Cameras were sent down, and for the first time, humans saw the aircraft again. Windows shattered, wings snapped, engines torn open, marine life. Living inside what was once full of people and voices, the sight was haunting the plane. Looked frozen in time, like it had been waiting to be found. But finding it was only the beginning, because recovering it would push human engineering to its limits. No diver could survive at that depth. The pressure alone could kill in seconds. So robotic submarines were used machines built to work where humans cannot. They descended slowly through black water, their lights cutting through darkness, revealing the wreck piece by piece. Investigators studied the damage and noticed something strange. The aircraft was broken, but not scattered. This was not a mid-air explosion. It was an impact the plane had reached. The ocean largely intact, which meant it was still flying. Until the final moment, planning the recovery took months. Massive ships were positioned above the site. Specialized cranes, cables, and lifting systems were designed to withstand extreme weight and pressure. Robotic arms carefully removed layers of sand and debris, every movement slow, precise. Because one wrong pull could destroy vital evidence. Steel cables were attached to the aircraft frame, step by step, inch by inch. Above the surface, helicopters prepared to assist balancing the lift. Then the operation began. The plane slowly separated from the ocean floor, releasing clouds of sand that had buried it for years. Water poured from its broken body as it rose for the first time since the crash. The aircraft moved again. Cameras captured the moment the wreck ascended through the water. Lights slowly returning, rusted metal reflecting the sun as it approached the surface when it finally broke through the waves. The world watched in silence. Helicopters hovered, lifting the damaged aircraft from the sea, an image that felt unreal, like the past rising into the present, dripping with salt and time. The recovery was not about metal. It was about answers. Inside the wreck, investigators found damaged but readable data recorders, fragments of cockpit systems, and physical clues locked in place by the cold and pressure. Piece by piece, the final moments of the flight were reconstructed. Instruments had provided incorrect readings, confusing the pilots, causing the aircraft to slowly drift off course over open ocean, with no visual reference stress. Increased decisions were made with limited information. There was no explosion, no warning to the outside world, no final distress call, just a quiet, controlled descent, until the plane met the sea. The impact was survivable for the structure, but not for the people inside the ocean. Claimed them instantly. The truth was not dramatic, but it was real, and it changed. Aviation forever. New global tracking rules were created. Planes now transmit their position constantly. Satellites watch every flight so no aircraft can ever vanish again. For the families, the recovery brought pain but also closure. They finally knew where their loved ones had rested all those years. The ocean had kept the secret, but could not keep it forever. The image of helicopters lifting the plane became a symbol of human determination, that no matter how deep the mystery, no matter how dark the water, the truth can be found. The plane that vanished did not disappear from history. It waited silently beneath the sea until the world was ready to face it. And when it finally rose from the depths, it reminded us of something important. Technology can fail. Systems can lie. Humans can make mistakes. But the truth always leaves a trace, and one day it always comes back to the surface.